bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with 𝙒𝙗𝙚𝙘𝙗 Media Network.
The following program is produced by 𝙒𝙗𝙚 Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 𝙒𝙗𝙚 Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The content provided in this program is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. 𝙒𝙗𝙚 Media Network does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of the information.
Hi, Teacher Luz.
Hello.
So Alfie got disconnected, but I think you could start and I will try to get him on here.
Are we live now?
Yes, we are.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Texas. Good morning, United States, and everywhere in between, Canada, the Western and Eastern world. Good morning to you. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Good evening, Philippines. It's 10 o'clock in the evening on your time. And in the Eastern Pacific time, Asia Pacific region, and everywhere around the world, greetings to you all. How about you, Teacher Alfie? You give them a little bit of greetings this morning. You are muted.
Educators empowering stories, and today we have a very special guest. Okay, invited by Teacher Luz. Okay, so Teacher Luz, can you introduce our guest today?
Yes, our special guest this morning, our very own Nolie Calamaza-Bichara, is an instructional specialist just like me in Aldin ISD. She takes care of math while I did take care of reading while I was still working. You know, I'm retired. And she has been with Aldin ISD for many years. And so, as an educator and as a teacher before she became an instruction specialist, she has lots of experiences. She has dealt with a lot of teachers, all kinds of scenarios, and everything that she dealt with before that stresses her out until today. So she is also one of our valued members of the SAFE EP that we discussed last week. She is our treasurer. She takes care of the money. So whenever we need some expenditures, she is the go-to person. And without much ado, I will let her add to my introduction to her, and she will talk about herself more. All right, without much ado, Teacher Nolie.
Hi, good morning or good evening all over the world or magandang araw, magandang buhay. So personally, I am from Isabela, Philippines. San Agustin, Isabela. I'm an Ilocana and I have two boys. I'm married to a French Lebanese, Charbel, and my two sons, Andre and Antoine. Andre is now in the Navy. I'm very proud of him. And Antoine is still in sixth grade, going to seventh grade this coming school year. So professionally, Luz has already introduced me. And um, what else did I? I've been in Aldine, this in the U.S. I would say in the education for 18 years. Of course, I taught in the Philippines before in Chiang Kai-shek College. It's a Chinese Filipino school, and also at San Sebastian College. My first year of teaching was in a public school in Dr. Albert in I think that's in Sampaloc in Manila, and then I went to private school. Um, I think that's it professionally. Well, I love teaching so much. I really wanted to be in the classroom. Like I really wanted to be with the students every now and then. That's my passion as a teacher.
Perfect. Very good. Very good. As the saying goes, once a teacher, forever a teacher. So you see,
Right.
she already has 18 years of experience on her belt. So she is the go to person to talk about how to de stress the stress teachers. Okay, that's our topic for today. And she will be answering the asked questions later on in the show. Okay, Teacher Alfie, do you have anything to say about our guest today? You are muted. No sound. You are muted. Audio.
Is teacher Alfie in?
Muted. Sound. Okay, since Teacher Alfie has a technical difficulty, I will start off by saying that, of course, teaching is one, actually, it's the most stressful profession, not just because we have experienced firsthand, but because of the nature of our work, right?
Yes.
Teacher Nolly, what stressful situations did you remember or recall in the Philippines first?
In the Philippines, like
What were
there's
the
a
top most stressful situations or events that you remembered when you were still teaching in the Philippines?
always remember because us as teachers in the Philippines, we wanted always to be prepared. So
Mm,
the lesson planning itself is a lot of stress in there because you have not only that's one thing. Another thing is like checking of papers, notebooks,
goodness.
because you don't only check papers in our you only check papers, also the notebooks of the students, and not just the student. That's every students. I think that's the most, I would say, stressing part when I was in the Philippines because I didn't find time to do this during your vacant time. There's like no vacant. I don't remember having a vacant when I was in the Philippines, like a conference time,
Mm-hmm,
because conference times is used for meetings,
mm-hmm,
for either talking to friends. We call this one here CPBL or PLC in the US. I'm not sure. If I recall it right, I'm not sure we have that time then when I was there.
mm-hmm. Yes, we understand stressful times. But what about stress with students? What do you recall that
Oh yeah.
so much?
When it comes to students' behavior in our country, the students' behavior, I don't I don't feel so much stress, I guess, because once you have those expectations, and mention it to them, and you follow it up with consistency, firmness, and consistency, it's not stressful at all because you just look at them, the students would behave. So I did not feel that I think, no, no, I know. Now I felt that one. Yes. I think also the behavior of the students. If you don't, yeah. So if you don't have that consistency, firmness in your expectations, it would be a dilemma for you as a teacher to manage their behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Academic wise, I think it's not a problem because the parents are very involved with their education. They follow it up with their homework, whatever assignment you give them. I think that's not a problem in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Have you experienced that one, Luz?
I think you were more in tune to private education.
Yeah.
Your parents are more affluent to follow through with homework, to guide their children at school in their academic life. I couldn't say that for a fact for public schools because these are the types of parents who are on the lower poverty level. And so, as much as they would want to be involved in the education of their children, they opt to prioritize their basic daily needs. They
Correct.
opt to work to make sure that the needs of their children are met. So their time is taken by work or by their daily jobs instead of being involved. So they wanted to, but they just can't fit in their schedule.
Hmm.
What about your teacher, Ashley? Have you experienced stressful situations in the Philippines while you were there?
Oh, so much stress. So I was not just a regular teacher back then. I was also I also have like experience in the admin side. So it's very stressful. Like when you're a teacher, when you're a regular teacher, so you just worry about the parents and the students. But then when you are, let's say, an AP or a principal, so you get to deal with a lot of people. Like not just the parents and the students. You also deal with other teachers and also your bosses in the school. Yeah. So
Mhm.
those were the stress. Those were the stress that I experienced when I was still in the Philippines. Here in the US, it's way different. Yeah.
Mhm. Teacher Nolly, have you had any stressful situations with co-teachers or admin?
Um,
In the Philippines, we're talking about Philippine scenarios first.
oh my God. I
Yeah.
think I agree with Alfie. When it comes to in the Philippines, it's the administration because they come anytime,
Mhm.
almost every day, somewhat like that, non-announcement. It's unlike here that we have like that you have only like 2 15-minute walkthroughs every semester, if I'm not mistaken, and one formal.
Oh,
There,
not
I
in our
think
case.
I know, and I'm there. It's like we call it red alert. Hey, red alert. Whenever they're already entering rooms, it's red alert day, somewhat like that. I mean, like that's really stressful, I would say, because like you
Mhm.
are being rated as a bad teacher if you are not performing very well. Because
Mhm.
I remember I was in San Sebastian College, and I mean I'm a very new is new in education, I would say, and I still am learning. I I knew I'm learning. I mean, I was very new. I need to learn a lot, and I was really stressed of the administrators. I still remember Miss Toria. She's still alive, you know. I mean, I see her sometimes in Facebook. It's like, but I've learned a lot from them. I've learned so much from them. That's stress in the Philippines. What else? Hey, my stress too because I am also in the like because I commute. I don't drive my own car. The traffic as well is another stress. What I
Oh,
would say,
yes.
a
Oh my goodness.
factor. Oh, commute. Yeah, I commute. So like, if it is, you have to be early to go to school, or you know, I know that's a stressful too,
Yeah,
stressful
it has
situation.
waned down a bit, as you can see from the news every day. We have TFC here in the US, and we can see the traffic situation every morning and every night. And so you are already haggard looking, haggard feeling before you even step into the door of your classroom. And then, of course, when you're perennially late, you know what happens to you when it comes to admin. Okay. So,
Yes.
yes. So now, let's see here. What are the stressful situations aside from classrooms, students, admin? Have you had any stressful situation with parents of your students? Like as we
I
see from the news, there are parents who are, unreasonable. Their demands are just like unreachable, and they expect the teachers to do magic with their children. Have you ever had any situations like those before?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I had a lot. I had those. I would say not in the Philippines though, when it comes to parents, but it's here in the US. I had experienced that. So I wanted to call, I, I always call parents, and whenever I call, there's a situation wherein I call parents about their behavior or academic
Mm,
situation of their students. And the parents would all say, that's your job. And
yeah.
then like, that's your job, isn't it? They would say like, and I would always rebuttal, but like, it's our job, ma'am. So I want you to help me. No, that's your job. That's why you're a teacher.
Oh
That
my goodness.
yes. Have you had encountered parents like that?
Yes, we did before. We will deal with that comment in a bit. Shout out to Miss Cora Flores, our president of the Safe EP. She's watching right now, and she is curious to learn. And then shout out also to Attorney Aidin Ligot Dizon. She's also watching, and also all our viewers who are tuned in right now. We will pause for a break, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned and we will answer your questions and deal with your comments. A shout out also to Grace Gallo. She is also watching us, and we will be pausing for a break. We are back. All right. So, one of the questions was stressful situation with a parent. Can you recap what you said, Teacher Noli, about a stressful parent?
Yes. Here in the I had experience here in the United States when I was teaching, and I'm still teaching, but like when I was in the classroom, there is this parent that I called, and she mentioned to me that about the academic factor of her child, and she mentioned to me that, hey, that's your job. And I mentioned to her like, even I would say, even though you would be telling that this is our job, ma'am, so I would like you, I'm doing my part, I want you to do your part, like that. And she would always say, no, that's why you're a teacher, that's your job. That's very stressful for me because I want every student to grow,
Mm,
and it's it is so hard. It's so hard to reach some parents here in the US. I'm not everybody, but like, there are few parents maybe or minimal parents who do that. I mean, they just leave it to the teachers.
it's like, okay, once he steps into your classroom, he or she is yours. Do whatever you want. Work magic with my kid. It's just something to that effect. What about your teacher office since you're teaching high school? What stressful situations do you recall that stand out to you?
Is it here in the US?
Yes.
Okay. Stressful situations. Most most of the stressful situations stems with behavior.
Mm. Since it's
That's one. Two. Sometimes I do get stressed also with like uh like a collegial stuff. Yeah, pero that's something that can be handled professionally. Yeah, so those are the two things I think, major two things that um s- that stresses me out. Yeah, but high school, it's I think it's easy to handle. Yeah, easy to handle level. Uh, Unlike if you are in the middle school or in the lower levels, I think you would agree with me with that. Yeah. Teacher Luz, I think you have an experience with the lower levels, right? So,
yes, I beg to disagree, but can't imagine myself teaching high school here. They're bigger than me. And
yeah.
so, of
Mm,
course, how can you handle behaviors of children, not children, but they're really considered adults? Because here we have 3 years of middle school. By the
mm.
time they go to grade 9, they are already about how many years old are they when they go to grade 9? About
Grade 9?
14.
14 or
Yeah,
15.
around that
14.
number.
So by the time they reach 4th grade, which is grade 12, they must be around 18 years old.
Yeah, and I saw the maturity because I handled mm, ninth grade, and also from ninth grade I jumped into grade 12.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw the difference. So I would say that as they progress with their level of maturity also progress. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
That's good, but there are times, yes, because all most of these grade 12 students are already working
Yes.
here in the United States. They start working, I believe, at age 16. And so by the time they reach 18, they are considered adults of age.
Yes.
And then they can go and be on their own, be independent, and that explains the maturity level of some of the students. However, there are also those who won't care. They will just do whatever they want and whatever the teacher wants, they don't care. Those are stressful situations. So, how can we differentiate stress from the Philippines and stress here in the United States when it comes to teaching and teachers? What can you deduce from those experiences that will say, oh, stress in the Philippines is lesser or stress in the United States is more? So, does it depend on the situation or what you're handling?
For me, it depends on the situation, you know. I think being a teacher, there's a lot of really stress factors. I mean, how do you say it? There, being a teacher is a lot, you know. It's really in very, you must be in that, you must have the passion to really, um, I would say, it, to really make to
With
make
it?
something, to make a dot, something like that. You
Mm,
know, because the stress in the Philippines is really more of you as a teacher to do what you needed to do. You
mm,
know, like to play. I mean, everything to do what you. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of work. But here, the stress more. I would say, I agree with ultimately with. It's just the students. The a stress is your management with the students.
mhm.
I don't
And
know. Is that? I mean, is that it? But a teacher is always a teacher. It's a lot of work for a teacher.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's why I said at the beginning of our show, teaching is one of the most, if not the most, stressful professions in the world.
True.
Yes, because of all the stresses that you've been discussing. And of course, factor in our personal stresses as well in our home
I
life, in our
Yeah,
personal life, in our medical life, health wise, and everything. Factor those things in, coupled with stress around us, in the environment somewhere that will lead to stress teachers, right? Super, super stressed. Now, let's find out how, as a teacher, we can deal with stressful situations so that you will be able to cope with the stressful world. Otherwise, if we don't cope with the stressful world, we cannot survive the teaching professions. Do you both agree?
true.
Mm-hmm. Before that, we have a comment here. Hello, dear teachers. And that came from MJ Concepcion. Hello, MJ Concepcion
From Perlin.
from Pearland, yes, watching us today. So that's the main topic of our show this morning. Our guest will give us a glimpse of how she copes with stressful situations here in the Philippines before. She will show you probably some pictures of how she distracts herself. So she's now able to survive alive and kicking.
True. You know, 2017, 2015, here, I got sick. I was not, I would say, because I got sick because I was so devoted with with my job. I
Mm.
was so passionate, so I want to do things perfectly. And at that year, I have two jobs. I was the skill specialist at the same time a classroom teacher because that teacher in October already quit because of the behavior of the students.
My goodness, see that?
Yeah, very. I mean, and she is. I'm not racist, huh, but like she is white, like and I would say that she is very firm, but like she really quit because of the behavior of students. So in short, I was a classroom teacher. I took the challenge. I was a classroom teacher, and I was still doing the job of a skill specialist. And by that year, we are still the one creating tests. We're doing, we're doing, you do testing at the same time. It's a lot to do. So I really got sick. I was out of school for almost 2 weeks
Oh, goodness.
because I mean, and I got, that's when I realized that they had discovered something in me, like, oh my God, because my immune system went down.
Mm-hmm.
I was, and my husband always tells me before, I mean, oh, even now, like, you love your profession more than your family, somewhat like that, because my kid sometimes has
That's what we
activities
talked
in
about.
school. Yeah. And I always like, oh, dad, I always tell my husband, can you go drop them or can you go be with them? Something like that. But now I'm learning better how to de-stress. So I go to the gym in the morning. I
All right.
wake up at
Yeah.
4
Alice,
o'clock. Yeah. And I go to the gym and I think it helps me so much, because after, if you do the exercise, I feel so alive and, kicking to start the day. That's
I,
one thing. Another thing is, I know we are so passionate with our work, but balancing it, it needed really balancing. Yeah. You really have to, if they say like, hey, it's 5 o'clock, time to go. It's
Mm-hmm.
so hard for us as teachers, as a passionate teacher, but I am really trying to do that. Hey, it's already 5 o'clock. I know our official time is 3:25, but sometimes you can then really go 3:25. Especially you have also duties in the United States. You have like afternoon duties, you have morning duties. Um, so at times I really have to um I was reading. I really have to you really have to balance yourself. You have to tell yourself enough.
Enough
So
is enough.
yeah, I mean enough. I have to go continue that tomorrow. So 2 o'clock. Before I don't even eat lunch with the teachers in the lunchroom. I eat like 10 minutes only because I have to do things like always a working lunch. But now I have these friends who always tell me, hey, we have done it. That's it together. It's our lunchtime, 30-minute break. So all those really counts. It's also your relationship with your coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Having relationship with them would also help. Like there should be always one person in your school who you can talk to, like just to say things out. Like um, that's very important. Like a body to be with. That's very important. Not not complaining, but to side things out to that person or to that individual, to two persons. Because I always talk to my co-coaches or co-skill specialists that, hey, something like that. Um, there's a lot that I do, like going out now with my son's activities in the evening. I mean, like, I love to go and do the activities with them. That's another de-stressor, I would say.
Yes, good. So you mentioned quitting from the job. That testifies or really tells us that if stress is not handled the right way at the right time, it will A, lead to quitting your job, and B, cause your health problems, just like what happened to you. That's why we cannot stress enough the importance of the stressing while we can. Otherwise, if you prolong the stress, if you do not deal with it the right way at the right time, disaster will come, will happen to you. What about you, teacher Alfie? How do you de-stress yourself? So, teacher Nolly mentioned gym,
Yeah. Mm.
balancing the time of
Mm.
work and going home. She mentioned the body system, where she talks to someone at the workplace and distress herself and maybe vent out problems at work or problems with anything, and then going out and share the activities of her two sons, which is a very nice family bonding as well.
All right. In my case, so just like teacher Nolly, what I do is I also do home workouts. I used to have a membership in the gym in my former house, but then when I moved out, so um, there's no gym here that offers like group exercises. So I want to go to the gym with the group. Yeah, like I'm not that type of gym goer that works out alone. Yeah, so that's why most of my exercises that I do now, it's at home. So there's no excuse. There's actually no excuse that you cannot do exercise because
Mm.
there's always means on how to do that. So that's my one one distressor, I would say. Another one is I hang out with friends.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes, very
yeah. I go out with my friends. Just like last night, so we watched a stand-up comedy. So that's a form of distress. Like you laugh and laugh, Yeah. What else? So exercise, hang out with friends. Also, the simple things like going to the grocery or going to TJ Maxx or Ross. Like simple shopping. That's also a form of distress. Yeah.
Yes, there is a comment here, and MJ Conception said that although there's stress in being a teacher, it's also a very fulfilling career. I agree. The fulfillment is intrinsic, it's within us. Probably the monetary reward compared to other professions like doctors and nurses in the medical field and the engineering field is not as much as we get in the teaching profession. However, just remember teachers are the mother of all professions, right? Without a teacher, there will be no doctor, there will be no engineers or healthcare professionals, or any profession for that matter will not evolve if there is no teacher, right? Agree? Teacher
I
Nolan,
agree.
we'll pause for a break, and when we come back, we'll continue on with the distressing stress teachers, some more suggestions for the stress teachers this summer, and also the rest of the year. We'll pause for a break. All right, we are back, and teacher Alfie will continue with his distressing measures or practices.
Yeah, so yeah, those are the three that I mentioned. So exercise,
Yeah.
going out with friends, and I would say the third one is what I call as me time.
Free
Mm,
time.
it's very
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the me time, wherein you get to enjoy yourself, and it can be like going out alone, um, doing your simple shopping, or just simply staying at home, like watching Netflix. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, I've listed down all the suggestions for the teachers. Now, teachers who are watching us, I hope that you are taking notes and
Mhm.
remembering the suggestions of these two teachers. And well, for me, I read a lot also in a quiet corner and read, or I do crochet,
Hobby. You have a hobby.
like
Mhm.
craft or sewing, simple um, things like blankets, pajamas for kids. I have five grandkids, so I measure them like in my mind because I'm not with them. So I size them up, and then I buy the fabrics, and then I create some things for them, like experiment on different things. I sew shorts, I sew pillowcases, curtains, anything that I could get hold of.
Wow,
Just
that's
one
nice.
time. Now I'm starting to learn how to cook because I have never been a cook. My husband does the cooking in the kitchen. And now, since I'm already off from work, an official retiree, I am trying to get a recipe book and learn some Filipino dishes that I could learn and cook. So that's how I deal with stress at this time.
That's very nice, Luz. I mean, cooking is always one of the best, I would say, hobbies that we could ever have. You know, everyone, not just the female, also the male.
Mm,
It's satisfying. You know, it's like teachers. Um, I know MJ Conception mentioned a while ago. It's stressful but very satisfying, which is true. You mentioned a hobby, Luz, and I know I have a hobby here too. Whenever I come from school, I do my garden. I have gardening, a very small
yes.
garden in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's really very distressing because you
Mm,
can go out and I talk to my plants. You know, I know. I mean, you might. I mean, in the morning too. Every Saturday, Sunday, I go like sometimes visit them, like talking to them. Yeah, and it's just, I mean, distressing, very distressing. I find so relief whenever I'm in my garden. I love to do things. I'm a farmer in the Philippines, so I really, that farmer in me is there. So I really wanted to tend to my plants, talk to them. That's my distressing part. And I agree with Alfie a while ago. He mentioned about going out with friends. Honestly, that's why I was late today. I mean, it was late. Like I didn't. I thought because it's at 10 o'clock, I was late because I was playing. I don't know if you play. No, this it's mahjong. Call it mahjong. I
Oh
played
my
mahjong.
goodness.
Oh.
Oh my god! And this is. I mean, this is our. And I was telling them last night. This is our last summer to play because we're gonna go travel with my family. So we will not be able to come back until as school starts because we start as IS, we start earlier, 1 week earlier than the teachers. So I said like, okay, we're gonna go all the way out. So we were left until like we stop until 3 a.m.
Oh
morning.
Lord.
It's not okay. But it's so much fun, it's so much fun. It's the same with my in the when I was in the Philippines. That's one way to distress. I would say with my friends, even though it's flooding, especially if there's a storm, classes were closed and
Mm.
suspended, somewhat like that. Schools are closed, classes suspended. We go play mahjong.
Oh my God.
Oh.
That's a
In
stressing.
one of their houses, one of their homes.
Huh?
In one of their homes, you go to a
In
common.
one of their own because they have their own what do you call this their own condo, something like that. So we
Uh-huh.
go to their homes, we go to the mass first in the morning. Okay, let's meet each other at the back of the back of the church, something like that. Then we go play mahjong on Sundays, or if it is classes are suspended, we go. I mean, let's meet at the church, then we go. That's our. I mean, that's a very distressful. Of course, aside from of course traveling, we go when it's the same here in the US. That's one thing the same I would say. With friends, we go travel at times if it is a long weekend. We go travel to different places, either Baguio or Palawan. We try to do new places. Here, I go travel maybe with friends as well, but most with my family. During weekends we travel. That's a way to distress. Sometimes another way to distress.
Yes. Naku, sana marunong din kami niyan ng mamajong para
Madya Oh
naman.
my God, ang sarap. Naturuan ko yung ang mga anak ko tsaka asawa ko nung COVID season.
Natuto kaya kami ni Teacher Alvin yan.
Yeah, I think some of the teachers when we with Safe F know how to play mahjong during our what do you call that one? The get together. We
Mm.
supposed to, but we didn't have the time.
I know you brought a mahjong set that time at the hotel.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
and I cannot imagine you talking to your plants. You will say, sige, bumulaklak na kayo, please.
Oo, mamunga na kayo. Anong ginagawa mo? Bakit
Ayun.
meron kang sa bulaklak hindi ka namumunga? Talagang I really talk to my plants. I I got that one from my mom.
When someone sees you doing that, they will say you're out of your mind, you're crazy. But it's an effective way to really pour your heart out, to tell them what you feel. Sometimes I heard some friends before telling me they tell their problems to the flowers.
Yeah.
Like it's like a confession to the plants and to the flowers, because of course they will not be marites to others. They will just stay there and listen to you. They cannot repeat what you told them. So I remembered I heard a friend say that to me before. In the morning, she's crying and she will go to her plants. She will tell her problems to her plants, and after that, wipe off her tears, go back inside the house, and go the usual way of her day. She already talked to a non-marites entity, her plants. Very good. I remembered her saying that. And speaking of that mahjong, isn't that a what you call vice or something that you develop, or just a hobby like a recreation?
It's a recreation. Sometimes we do pitik bulag, whoever wins.
It's
So it,
money betting. No?
we do with my friends, we do 25 cents, you
Oh,
know.
okay.
25 used
Just
to be 10 cents.
just for fun. Very
It's
good.
for fun. Yeah, it's for fun. Yeah.
So I'm listing down all these distressors so that when we meet with the teachers, those who are not tuned in, we can suggest all these activities that you mentioned. They're very powerful.
It is. Yeah, it's very nice.
Mm.
We will read the comments here. Teacher Alfie, can you read one of the comments?
Oh, okay. So there are other suggestions for distressing by MJ Concepcion. Other ways would be self-care activities like massage, yoga, spa, etc. Oh, also do these things.
Oh
True.
my goodness. So massage, yoga, spa, in other words, beauty tips.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Self-care.
I agree. Totally agree with MJ Conception.
Yeah. We
Um,
do manicure, pedicure, hair care.
self care. Too true. That is true. Yeah.
Because not only it makes you beautiful, pretty, but it also makes you be relieved of all the heavy feeling inside you when you see your nails pretty done, when you see your hair and you feel like very beautiful, gorgeous. So that distresses you out.
Let me tell you something too that I am learning from my husband. You know, before I was very stingy. Honestly, like I'm in Ilocano, sometimes they have that connotation that Ilocanos are stingy. I don't know, but I am stingy in the sense that I don't want to buy, like for example, perfume
Mm-hmm.
because it's so expensive. Why would I miss nothing, somewhat like that? But my husband told me like, don't be stingy to yourself.
Uh,
Don't you feel good when you? So I said because he always smells good. I mean, like I like him, but like I can afford to buy perfume. I said like, no, don't be. I'll buy it for you. He would say that one, but like realizing it, like why not? You know, why not? Yes, why not? I'm working hard, so why don't I give myself? So I
correct.
think that's one thing too, you feel good. And he always tells me, don't you feel good whenever you feel that you, something like that, which is true. So these are, self care. That's part of a self care.
Yes, and
Treat yourself, treat yourself.
we have the Filipino custom that save the best for last.
Yeah, why? Uh-huh.
Person you would ever indulge in is yourself, especially if you're a mom. You'd rather buy things for your children or for your spouse, for your husband, or for your wife if you're a male, rather than indulge yourself. You will just look at window shop but never buy it. And you are
True.
treat yourself because you have to reward yourself sometimes, especially when it's payday. Go and shop and pick up one thing that you have been wishing for that you had before. And don't be stingy to yourself. That's a very good advice. I'll take it. I'll take that advice.
True.
Every
I
month,
agree. Yeah.
every month we will target one thing that really makes us like fulfilled. Like I'm a bag lover for the most part. I have lots and lots of bags. The only bag I don't have, I cannot afford the Hermes, and I'll never, never, ever think about because that is very impractical and unaffordable. However, if you think of one thing every month, okay, this month my target is this. Next month, my target is this. So it's a self reward for yourself so that you will be able to distress, like, okay, I will work harder because I have a target for next month that is double the price of what I got this month.
Mm-hmm. True.
Okay. So now, are we pausing for a break again?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay, Teacher Alfie, segue to the break.
All right. So we will be back after the break. Stay tuned.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories. From elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits, I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
We are back. We're talking about self reward, self care, massages, yoga, and spa. All right. How do we feel when we have already gone to the massage Of course, it's very physically rewarding as well. We need that for our
Mhm.
health, for our medical needs, and there are massage places that won't charge you an arm and a leg. It's very reasonable and very clean and sanitary. And for now, I can't think of any place like that since I only go to one massage lady. Her name is Juliana, and she lives around my neighborhood. She used to work with my youngest son, and she is very good. She will suggest areas in your body that you need to focus on. She will give you herbs to drink while you are there and all kinds of stuff. And speaking of herbs, some of the less stressful, uh, I think I'm lost here. Did I lose everybody? Okay, I'm back. Some of the things also that I would recommend sipping a hot cup of tea or coffee or the aroma of the Starbucks coffee. I'm not endorsing Starbucks or any brand, but the act of inhaling the aroma of coffee or sipping hot tea with lemon and honey, that also helps with distressing. I always do it at night before I sleep. Hot tea, chamomile tea relaxes you, or those flavored teas, herbal, green teas, and you put honey with squeeze of lemon. Oh, that is very, very good. All right. Do we have comments or questions from the audience? You can put your questions in. You can get your comments on the screen, and we will be dealing with your questions, answering your questions as much as we can right here. So, do we have questions from the audience?
I don't think so.
Oh, there's some.
There's one.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this is a long one from Miss Grace Gallo.
Oh, okay.
I will read.
Yeah.
Read. Okay. Um. So Miss Grace said, "I am happy sharing these pieces of information and insights that I would like to share. Nobody is exempted when we speak about stress. I too was stressed. One taught me to be patient and hopeful that along the way, with the help of our fellow Filipino teachers here in Houston, that I was able to survive. So special mention to um, Miss Cora. So thank you, Miss Cora. Thank you, Sir Alfie. Oh, okay. Uh, and my family who did a good job for giving me advices on what I should do to overcome stress. These are the things I truly consider as the best remedies that I made to surpass stress. Number one, to church with my family. For my husband was a pianist and a song leader of one of the Baptist churches here. Okay. Number two, texting and listening to Filipino teachers, comfort and advices. Number three, go shopping. Number four, to beaches to unwind. Number five, listen to colleagues' advices in my school. Number six, go to restaurants that have good food. Okay. And there's another number six. Do marites about our US journey.
Like marriages.
Like marites, okay. Number seven, do more putting makeup. Okay. Yeah, that's self-care. So for now, I thank the Lord for He is teaching me to be patient and prayerful in facing all these challenges. I do make these all as opportunities for me to grow as a person and as a teacher with commitment and dedication. Share ko lang po, madam. That
Thank
was
you very much,
oh,
Miss,
thank you
for
very much, Miss Grace.
novella that you sent us, which is very, very helpful, insightful. And remember, stressed when you spell it backward is dessert,
Mm-hmm.
right? So stressor can also be dealt with food, with sweets and all that. There's also one from Albin Buhat. Go, Sir Alfie, go. Your insights and those from your team are consistently enlightening. I'm also a big fan of your podcast and eager
Oh,
episode. Thank you very much, Sir
yeah.
Alvin.
Thank you, Sir Alvin. Yeah, we're
Our
together
final tips.
yesterday.
Yes, we're wrapping up for our
Mm.
final tips from our guest. What is your final tip? Miss Nolie Calamaza-Bichara, our wonderful guest this morning. What is your final tip for the stressed teachers, not just teachers, but stressed
Mm.
people, individuals,
Hey,
anyone stressed?
have time for yourself. Go out with family and friends. And what else? Go with family and friends and have a hobby.
Oh,
Have at
yeah.
least a hobby, yeah, to do.
Yeah.
One thing that you like.
All right, so let's wrap up. We are going to thank our guest. Thank you very much for gracing our episode today, Miss Nolie Calamaza-Bichara, our wonderful guest this morning, who was very, very helpful in talking about the stressors for stress teachers. In the next episode, Mr. Alfie will give you a little glimpse of the next episode. We have a very wonderful guest as well on Saturday. Her name is withheld upon request until she confirms, but I think she's very excited to join us on Saturday, like our wonderful guest this morning.
Mm.
So, our next episode is a surprise, but we will give you the topic 2 or 1 day before the episode. So, thank you, viewers. Thank you, or those who are tuned in. Thank you to those who stayed for an hour from 10 o'clock to 11 p.m. in the Philippines and Eastern Pacific time, Asia Pacific region. Thank you very much for an hour of being with us, 9 to 10 in the morning here in the US and in the Western world. And Sir Alfie, you will say goodbye to our viewers.
Yes, thank you everyone, and tune in again next time here in today's lesson, Educators Empowering Stories. Yes, we're always live in Facebook and YouTube and in other platforms.
Yes,
Thank you very much,
remember,
everyone.
once a teacher,
Mhm.
forever a teacher.
Yes.
Yes, amen.
Amen. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.